episode of News Alerts, and today we're going to focus on holy crap. Who would have thought? It's official. It's been rumored, it's been rambled, it's been mentioned, it's been discussed. Vince McMahon is officially back in WWE as of today. Now, some ramblings went out yesterday that he was thinking about returning because he think it's best for business, pal, as he would say. But it's official as of today. The SEC, who basically got to record all financial records and people like that and things too, announced that Vince McMahon is returning today. Even the Wall Street Journal have picked up on this. Now let's get straight into the official story of how this came about. So WrestleZone, NBC, Wall Street Journal, a couple people picked up on it, but the Reader Digest version is on WrestleZone.com, courtesy of Mike Black, a columnist and reporter for them. Vince McMahon is back in WWE on the road to WrestleMania 39. According to an SEC filing released this morning, Vince McMahon is back on the WWE board of directors along with George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. And these are the people that green-lighted projects like WWE Network. So they're obviously very reputable CFOs, CEOs. This move has forced the removal of Alan Wexler and Joe Ellen Lyons Dillon and Jeffrey Speed from the board of directors. Let's be honest, what they really making that much of a difference? They was kind of just there to fill a role. I'm not trying to be callous, but it's the truth. They weren't doing anything business-wise for WWE. All these deals with Saudi Arabia, Fox Universal, Fox and NBC Universal were all greenlit by Vince McMahon and his people that he chose as board of directors. The WWE board of directors did not wish to allow McMahon to return to this position in the company, but his refusal to approve or greenlight any media rights or sales in the future forced the company's hand. So basically, with him having 81% control over the company, which he does, so he has final voting right and final power to trump all this. This was a temporary step down. As I said when it happened back in July, Vince McMahon was going to come back. Why? Not that because he's overly arrogant or insensitive as people say he is. He is, but Vince McMahon's a smarter, wiser businessman than people give him credit for. He's always going to do, as he always done, what's in the best interest for WWE. Vince McMahon and the people he's built these relationships with are not going to do business with people like Triple H and Stephanie. Why? Because they don't have a proven track record. There's no reason for them to do business. You as a smart business person, ask yourself, would you do business with people that were put somewhere because of family and nepotism, or will you do business with the person that made it happen, the spoon that stirred the drink, so to speak? Vince McMahon is the man, whether people want to admit it or not. He's took WWE into a national platform, something that his competitors still to this day haven't been able to do. You can dislike him all you want, but as a businessman, this was a smart move for WWE to have him return. And let's be honest, he's not likely going to be on TV anytime soon. This is strictly going to be a behind the scenes office, making the deals, worrying about overhead. That's what Vince McMahon is going to be doing. Don't think he's going to be out there, what up, G? Even though I would be okay with that because Vince McMahon is entertaining and good whatever he does. And when he comes back to TV, it's always to give. Like, he's always back to do something what's in the best interest of WWE at large. That's what it's always about. Contrary to what people, try kind of discredit him for or try to slander him for, he's always back for business. That's what it's always about with Vince. As I tag these couple things up here. And like I said, Wall Street Journal, everybody's picked up on the story. WSJ, Wall Street Journal today. Yep. What else we got here? I'm just trying to tag this, make sure let's put it in the trending category so people can see it. Happy Friday, by the way, everybody. Now that I'm tagging this up and filibustering a little bit. Happy Friday. Hope everybody had a good week, good commute home. But Vince McMahon is officially back in WWE, and it makes total sense of why he's back. These people are not going to trust doing business with Triple H, who only look at the returns Triple H had. None of them are marketable names outside of the internet. Nobody knows these people. Nobody's going to do business with these network executives. Who? How can I get a return on my investment? Vince McMahon's not Tony Khan, who pays $40 million for a dead brand. Triple H might, because he's obsessed with not making money for whatever reason. Vince McMahon is a smart businessman. This is not personal. This is purely down to business. Nick Khan and Vince McMahon is a power combination, and there's been a lot of rumors that WWE is probably preparing for a sale. We predicted this 3 years ago on my brand. We've been talking about this because Vince McMahon already sees that they're not going to like his ideas. They're not going to like his vision anymore. Why not sell it just like George Lucas sold He just going to relieve himself of the stress at 77, 78 years old. Why would he want to still deal with the stress of running this corporation when he know he's kind of out of touch with the time? He's not going to admit it, but he is. He know. I think Vince secretly knows he's out of touch, and his ideas won't rock anymore in a very corporate, sanitized, what he considers kind of liberal work. Vince McMahon, at the end of the day, is a real life conservative. He's a liberal as far as business goes, as he should be. It's smart. You want your business to be presentable and be able to be sold and viewed as up with the times and not some relic of the past. So he's smart as it relates to that. But we already know in real life, Vince McMahon is a what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, he's a conservative. We know that. All these weird accounts follow me. I'm going somewhere money big next week. I don't know what these people are talking about. These fake accounts. Y'all are hilarious, though. Okay, let's keep reading. So Brandon Thurston, what site does he work for? I think he might be independent. He's a decent guy. He reports ratings and things like that. So they tried to block him, board of directors. They couldn't. Vince McMahon is 81% of control of the company. So he trumps all the decisions of the board of directors. Some people step down. Dude, you're not smart for stepping down. Just to seem popular on the internet, are you crazy? And a lot of these people make moves based off, my corporate idea. If you Vince McMahon, y'all, when you work for Vince McMahon, you practically make money for doing nothing because he pulls the wagon. He's a aggressive micromanager to a fault at times, but you at least can say you got paid. So to me, with these people stepping down, they gonna regret this because even Sasha Banks, who's outside of WWE, is already looking worse when she was there. Don't misunderstand me. Sasha Banks going to New Japan is good for New Japan. It gives them Western exposure that they've been struggling to get for almost 30 years. It gives them that type of exposure when you got names like Sasha Banks, Naomi Bailey, these people who've worked for WWE. The minute you're on WWE camera, you're already pretty much marketable. You already got the idea that you're going to be seen with the big leagues. You're at the big table because you work for a corporate, publicly traded company. And I put emphasis on publicly traded company. When you're publicly traded, you're in the big leagues. You get big money invested in you. I just don't care for it because you got to change your creative vision, but that's why I'm doing my own thing. So below are a series of tweets that reveals emails between the board of directors and Mr. McMahon, and I say below, I'm reading it, y'all can't see it, which clearly displays McMahon's forcing his return. Here come the liberals. This is why, see, Brandon Thurston, I was just starting to like you a little bit, dude. Force his return to the company despite the negative impact it could potentially have on WWE. No, it's just going to be people complaining on Twitter. It's not going to be a negative impact. The United Arab Emirates is still going to give Vince McMahon $45 million over 10 years. If that doesn't increase, that's their current deal. I think it expires in 2028. So that's their current deal. It's probably going to get renewed because these people like what the WWE brand brings. And WWE is at its most sanitized now. Come on now, they're allowing women to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. That would have never happened 20 years ago. So people need to stop saying what they want to see and look at WWE as the business that it is. I don't particularly care for the entertainment of it, but as far as from a business standpoint, you have to be crazy to not want to do business with an established brand like WWE. You have to be out of your mind. So Brandon Thurston went on to tweet, and he's kind of a known columnist and person that does numbers specifically for WWE. The filing, I'm guessing he means what was presented to the board of directors, SEC. The filing shows Vince McMahon makes changes to WWE's bylaws, so media right deals and company sales can't be made without his approval. See, they were smart. Y'all should have read the proper. You think this man that started the company, that greenlit this, he bought it from his father. This is a family company. You think he's going to let Vince McMahon is nice to his and loyal to his family, but he's not stupid. He's a smart businessman. He's not going to ever put something where he could be taken out of. He's smart like that. All these things are going to go through him. Y'all really thought he was gone? Vince McMahon was stepping down because he know it takes time for people to forget scandals. People have what's the word? Fish brains. They have fish brains. They'll forget about this stuff. Think about scandals that happened a year ago. You don't even remember. You remember R. Kelly and all in Tory Lanez because that's currently happening. Most people are probably going to forget about it, except the very extreme groups that obviously are crusaders for this type of mentality, the sharks in the water. But the general world at large has so much going on. You have so many media options. They're not going to remember this stuff 6 months now. And I'm not saying good, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just speaking on the facts of how the human brain works. You're going to forget this stuff. You got way too much stuff to worry about to forget. Most people, other than the Sharks, forgot that Vince was even involved in it. They just happy that he's probably going to jolt the entertainment. People are just excited about new. When somebody returns, that falls under the new category. We live in an age of where people their mentality of what's next. And that's what Vince McMahon is providing with his return right now. Good, bad, or indifferent. He's got people thinking, what next? Oh, man, he's back. That's what all this is about. Let's keep pushing with this article. Vince McMahon's December 20th letter to WWE Board of Directors, so this was a week and a half ago, writing he wants to come back as an executive chairman. Quote, Stephanie, Nick, Paul, and the rest of the management team have my full and unconditional support. That's what Vince put. That was the main thing that was the standout here. These letters are a bit too small. But, yeah, he was talking about he wanted to come back. And then I think, oh, here it is. For the reasons, it is critical for me to rejoin the board of directors executive chairman to work alongside our chairman team in leading the exploration of strategic alternatives and media right negotiations. And it is necessary to fulfill my commitment to doing what is best for WWE. Successfully navigating the process will require close coordination among WWE leadership and the board, as well as clearly defined and well-executed strategy to secure the greatest value for WWE stockholders. See, he's even typed his business like he's a smart man. He knows how to navigate dirty water, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Vince McMahon is very politically intelligent. He'll take his lickings when he need to. He got a bit of an ego. He'll even admit that, but he'll never purposely go against what's in the best interest of his company. Pow, as he'll say, in the interest of fairness. As WWE Wonders founder and largest shareholder, no one has a greater interest in long-term success of WWE or is more aligned with all the WWE shareholders than me. And of course, this is Vince talking. He continues, I want to be very clear that I wholeheartedly believe that WWE has exceptional management team in place. He's just being nice. Stephanie, Nick, Paul, Nick Khan, not Stephanie and Triple H. And the rest of the management team have my full unconditional support. And as executive chairman, I will support the team to facilitate, unify, efficient, and effective decision-making during the important period in the company's history. An announcement that I am rejoining the board of directors as executive chairman provides natural opportunity for WWE to announce its intention to engage in strategic review process. I'm almost done. I know some of this stuff is boring. I'm almost done. In the light of timing of the media rights cycle, it is important to finalize my return to WWE as soon as possible. And I request to hear from you by 6 p.m. Eastern time on January the 3rd. So this was almost like a command. He said, I request to hear from you. So, yeah, you should have knew that clause was in there somewhere. I intend to keep my letter and ancillary, I always had a hard time pronouncing that, communications out of the public domain and trust that the board will do the same. So somebody obviously leaked this. While I, of course, reserve all my rights, my strong preference is to conduct any dialogue regarding this letter privately and collaboratively, along with corporate counsel at Kirkland and Ellis LLP. I am available to discuss any questions you may have. Thank you for your continued commitment to WWE. I look forward to working together to maximize value for our shareholders, other stakeholders, and the entire WWE universe. Now, the first thing people are going to say is, Vince, if you want what's best in interest for the company, why won't you stay at home? And to answer those critics' question, which is a very good question, because Vince McMahon knows what's best for WWE, and this is what I mean by that. He has the most business smarts and connections to make these deals. Let's be honest. WWE is not at its most optimal. It's not even close to its most optimal that it was. I'm not even going to say attitude era, that it was back in 2012, 2013 when they went 3 hours. At the time, they still had entertainment value. Where he was like, 3 hours is kind of a stretch, but at least they got some entertaining people. Think of WWE being 3 hours 10 years later in 2022. It was horrid being 3 hours. In some type of way, Vince McMahon still was able to use his genius to get deals from United Arab Emirates back in 2018, which is a 10-year deal, $4.5 million as far as it stands now. I don't know if it increased. $4.5 million over 10 years. Prior to that, he was able to finesse NBC Universal and Fox. Fox is the newest deal. They acquired that in 2017-18? And it went into full effect on 2019. They expected 3.6 million views from Fox. Oh, boy, were they wrong. SmackDown hasn't gotten close to 3.6 million views. They've been hovering at about 2 for about 3 years, maybe 2 years. It's currently at 2 point, and sometimes it drops to 1.9, 1.8 if it's on FS1 or if it's a bad week or if it's a sport on. WWE hasn't gotten nearly, so they obviously overvalue what WWE was worth. But the brand is so strong under the McMahon's leadership they was able to get that type of money. Triple H and Stephanie can't even do that. They can't even get NXT over 1 million. NXT hovers between about 5.5 to 600,000 viewers. It's probably worse now because I haven't watched it since Mandy Rose was unceremoniously fired over nonsensical nonsense. So these people know that Vince McMahon is still a smart man when it comes to getting advertisers to see his channel. 1 million views today is for anything that's non-football or UFC is quite impressive. So Vince McMahon, even with it's his product being, in my opinion, at its absolute worst and least watchable, is still able to get these deals done. And that's all these people in these suits care about. That's all the corporations and the Wall Street Journal people. This is what they care about. They don't really care about. You got to keep in mind, these are old school males mostly running this company. Their views are not going to correlate with the world that's going on today. And not only that, a lot of them are smart for wanting to continue to do business with an established brand. At the end of the day, WWE is at its most watchable, but it still has a very global friendly type product. When you got women main event shows, when you have women holding multiple titles and having multiple segments, even though some of them, in my opinion, are prepared to be on TV. To be fair, a lot of the men aren't prepared either. But I feel like it's disproportionately a lot more women that's not prepared, that's being heavily featured in main event spots. I'm not saying on TV. I think women should always have been involved in TV spots, but only the ones that are prepared should be in main event slots. They got women right now that aren't prepared in main event spots. So that shows you the forward leap WWE has taken as a company. Stephanie McMahon being a CEO, are you crazy? She's barely good on creative. Why would she be a CEO? And I'm not trying to be condescending enough. She just haven't had that many good ideas. What have you heard that was a good Stephanie McMahon idea recently? Yes, we give her credit that she discovered rapping John Cena. What else has she done? She hasn't done anything. And she became head of creative in I think 2003. So she's been on the in an influential spot as far as WWE TV goes for 20 years as of this year, whether she deserves it or not. So these are things that we have to look at with an objective eye and take our emotions out of the situation for a second. Vince McMahon returning to this company is going to be the best financial decision that they was able to make. And I was saying sarcastically months ago that Vince McMahon has to come back to WWE. Has to. Because look how worse the show has gotten under Triple H. Triple H officially took over let's say, to be fair, at the beginning of August. August was 4.5, 5 months ago. WWE TV has been terrible. He didn't even book SummerSlam. That was all but booked by Vince McMahon. That's how you got Pat McAfee on the show. That's how you got that deal with Paramount to have no, that was at WrestleMania with Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville should have been at SummerSlam because SummerSlam was in Tennessee. Johnny Knoxville is from Tennessee, so that made sense for him to be there. He had the best, objectively the best match at WrestleMania that wasn't related to Stone Cold Steve Austin. He should have been there, but that's neither here nor there. This is the best overall decision with Vince McMahon coming back. Whether people want to try to slander him online or not, this is just what's going on. Okay, they also got more board information about Vince. The board alludes to a shareholder demand letter that the board sued Vince for payment of investigation expenses. I have a feeling when Stephanie and them leaked that. I'm pretty sure they did. I think Shane and Stephanie leaked that. They leaked that information to try to undermine Vince. Vince McMahon's December 31st email writing back to the board unhappy with their response. Okay, we're not going to read all this. Y'all can find all this on WrestleZone. Matter of fact, I'll put the link right here in the chat to anybody that wants to actually read it because I don't want to, bog the showdown reading. I just want to go over the main details. I just put it there in the chat. You could also get it on WrestleZone.com. It's going to be like right there as soon as you click on the website. You'll see it. Now, let's talk about the board of business side. Deadline picked up on this. I don't know who owns Deadline. I'll have to look into this, but it seems like it was pretty professionally typed, and it actually put out information that was cited by reputable sites like the Wall Street Journal. So this is a decent site. So Jill Goldsmith wrote this, courtesy of Deadline.com. WWE today confirmed that the return of Vince McMahon to the board of directors said it removed 3 directors to make room for former CEO. We already said that. And the official quote was, this is from WWE directly. Today, we announced that the founder of WWE, Vince McMahon, will be returning to the board of directors, said WWE chair and co-CEO Stephanie McMahon and co-CEO Nick Khan. The CEO should just be Nick Khan. And chief content officer, Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H. Quote, we also welcome back Michelle Wilson, George Barrios. Now, this is from the Vince McMahon side. They were the people that were credited for basically finalizing the deal with the WWE Network, basically. Together, we look forward to exploring all strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value. Now, I'm thinking of the optimalism of WWE under these four people: Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, Michelle Barrios, Michelle Wilson and George Barrios. These people can make WWE marketable again while still having current views. I just think it needs to be more. If you're going to make WWE cartoony, even though I have a preference over the more WWE content, I understand from a shareholder's perspective why they had to back away from that. With that said, if you're going to make WWE cartoony, I would rather it be larger than life superhero looking people being at the helm of the show. And you can make it cartoony that way. At least it looks realistic. Make it like the Hulkamania era in the 80s. Eat your vitamins, say your prayers. They can get a big problem with WWE is you would think with them basically being a marketing TV company, which they are, they will have a lot more focus on getting branching out outside of t-shirts and action figures. What happened to y'all being on 7-Eleven cups and cereal boxes and stuff? They need to get back to that. You already got a superhero looking woman like Bianca Belair. That's fine. She's the world's champion. How about Lacey Evans? She has a superhero, women can do anything type character. Why is Lacey Evans not in there? Why don't you have people like Riddick Moss, who's buffing and stuff, on there? Why don't you have a more focus on, well, they got the supervillains versus superhero storyline right now with Karrion Kross versus Rey Mysterio. That should do some big, good business. They know each other well from working in Mexico. Another global corporate opportunity, even though Mexico is a bit of a risky deal because they just don't have the economy. Their economy is similar to India, not as big as India, but they have a large population, but the population don't have the disposable income to go to these type of shows. So Mexico is a bit of a risky investment because they don't have the money. They might not be as impoverished as India, but it's down there. It's down there. So you got this superhero versus super villain angle already prepared with Rey Mysterio against Karrion Kross. That should be great. That is the perfect SmackDown babyface versus heel storyline. And Kross is smart because he's familiar with the Mexican audience where he's able to do this. So that should be great. We need to focus on storylines like that. We need to have people like Baron Corbin could be a supervillain. JBL can be a supervillain. We need to get these larger-than-life heroes. LA Knight has a kind of a cartoony, loudmouth villain type demo going on. Who else we got? But you get the point. We need these larger-than-life superhero people with characters that you could sell to the public and sell merchandise. This is what the focus with these people need to be. So Vince McMahon and these other great investors like Michelle Wilson, George Barrios, who have good financial experience, along with the marketing and media experience of Nick Khan and Vince McMahon, this could be, man. Now, if you want Triple H and Stephanie to be kind of like consultants, I think that's the more logical way to drop them down. You know what I mean? Or the more logical way to feature them, I would say, is putting them in that type of way, that position. So Vince McMahon coming back is money. Absolutely. Yeah, pal. It's money. Anything else? So they announced that he returned. McMahon signaled his return yesterday. He said he didn't intend for it to have any impact on current management roles, duties, or responsibility. So he's going to let these hacks keep their job even though they don't deserve it. And y'all say Vince McMahon is evil. He's letting his daughter and son-in-law, who hasn't done anything good for his business other than make it look corporately sanitized to the people online. They haven't done anything to grow them financially or from a expansion global standpoint. And he allowed them to keep their jobs. And y'all say he's a bad man. Come on now. Because they wouldn't, my kids are not. If you're making bad business decisions, I would have demoted you. I'm sorry, it's business, it's not personal. Okay, back to the article. In connection with the change in its compensation of the board of directors, in cooperation with Vince McMahon as majority shareholder, he owes 80%, I think it's about 81, of the voting stock. The company intends to undertake a review of its strategic alternatives, with the goal being to maximize value for all WWE shareholders. There is no assurance this process will result in transaction. WWE said in what is called an update regarding composition of its board of directors and exploration of strategic alternative and this unfolding saga. It said in his capacity as controller shareholder has removed Joe Ellen Lyons Dillon, Jeffrey R. Speed, and Alan M. Wexler. Y'all got too many names. And we already said they added Marcel Barrio and Michelle Wilson, George Barrio in response. Both of them CEOs, CFOs, significant business experience. Two other board members, Ignis Loghod and the man and Manjit Singh, that cannot be your name, bro, have resigned effective today. Okay, that's on. Yeah, that's gonna be y'all loss. Y'all gonna look back just like allegedly Mercedes Monet, and wish y'all didn't do that. Y'all gonna wish y'all that y'all didn't do that because, whenever you get farther away from WWE, you usually make less money because you made your name in their company. And y'all not like The Rock, y'all not like Stone Cold, where y'all are once in a lifetime demanding talents where WWE is willing to fold for y'all. Y'all are just a number, dude. Think about that. So when y'all make idiotic decisions to leave, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it from a business standpoint. We already know about Vince McMahon stepping down. We don't have to talk about that. Vince McMahon felt that his leaving was a mistake. He recorded to the Wall Street Journal. Blah, blah, blah. We already talked about all of that. Let's talk about these NXT renewal deals. Weekly shows, Monday Night Raw, NXT, which airs on NBC Universal and USA Network, and Friday Night SmackDown, have 5-year deals ending in 2024. Peacock, which absorbed the WWE's previous standalone streaming service, WWE Network, back in 2021, retained streaming rights to the wrestling circuit through 2026. So Peacock has WWE exclusively for another 3 years. The strategic thinking about a larger merger and acquisition transaction is that instead of spending $600 million to $700 million on WWE rights, a partner might be more interested in buying the company outright. Yeah, so this is what it's come down to. WWE are tired of spending these exorbitant fees to have their own standalone stuff, or buying because they gotta buy the rights to use it on the network and stuff like that. So or they have to pay the networks for putting their shit out there. So they want somebody to just buy it outright and just be done with it. At this point, the safe bet, more than likely NBC is going to buy it. Maybe Disney might make a bid, or Comcast. I don't know if Comcast is owned by somebody else or if they're still an individual entity. But that's what the goal is at this point. I'm dreading WWE being sold to either one of those companies because they're just Peacock. I don't know, man. The way they did that Young Rock show, I don't have any faith in NBC doing anything big for WWE. At this point, I'd rather HBO by WWE or Time Warner by WWE, which is Time Warner owns HBO. Because I feel like with a more adult, if WWE is going to leave the regular TV model, I would rather them go to HBO or one of the premium subscription channels where they can do whatever they want. I would much rather do that. Now, WWE might not like that from a public standpoint because it might be hard to buy stock, even though HBO should be on Time Warner, should be publicly traded company at this point. There's always been a premium. People know what they were getting when they bought those subscriptions to that particular network. This is not something that was like, oh, you know what you're getting. It's a premium service targeted towards adults. As far as SmackDown relates tonight, only thing I remember notably that's happening is the great Charlotte Flair is going to talk, since she surprisingly, which a lot of people are upset about, which I don't get, she gave WWE a much needed updated change. The only thing that it looks like important happening tonight is Charlotte Flair being there. All this other crap has been happening for weeks, and I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in seeing anything that Sheamus does at this point, nor Drew McIntyre. Hit Row will be in action. At least Ricochet's wrestling against the botchy as hell. Oh God, he's gonna go against Top Dollar. Dude, try not to hurt yourself, man. So yeah, nothing noteworthy is happening on SmackDown tonight other than the Charlotte Flair being there. We're gonna end this with saying, "Yeah, pal, I'm back. What up, G?" Vince McMahon is back. He should be back. It makes all the business sense in the world. As long as he stays out the way, most people are not going to notice, and they're going to cry and complain about it and watch it anyway. So, Vince McMahon, thank you for being back. I hope he has some type of influence over WWE TV, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he did. You know what I mean? At least, Vince, please, please produce the good pay-per-view throughout the year, the Big Four, Big Five, whatever you call them, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam. I'm okay with just watching those. If everything else is bad, I know how to fill my time with doing something that's not going to make me miserable. Welcome back, Vince McMahon. People, y'all need to see the bigger picture, what Vince McMahon is going to do for this brand. Get out of y'all feelings and y'all enjoy the WWE pay-per-view. Look at what Triple H hasn't done for WWE, other than make a couple people online happy. Look at his returns. Ask yourself, is he the best long-term decision, or is Vince McMahon in his regime? Think about it. Let me know what you think. Like, dislike the video on YouTube. I welcome all the smoke. My stuff, everything is in negative is enabled on my YouTube. I don't got it where you can't like and dislike. That's cowardly to me. I show my face. I don't mind people knowing what I look like because at the end of the day, my way is going to be right. So I'm not worried about it. But I also welcome feedback and discourse. I like intelligent back and forth with people. So find me on YouTube, TJ the Prodigy. That's TJDA Prodigy, all lowercase. Or on Twitter, it's TJ Time 91, and let's have a conversation, y'all. Y'all be great. All my links to Twitter and Twitch is all on my YouTube and on Twitter anyway. So you'll be able to find it either way. Click on the link. Thank y'all for being here. God bless your families. Later.